as I look back over the years, I'm not sure how I'm here, but I'm here.
You are here, and I saw you just the other night. I saw you at the Rumble. It's always great to see you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna diving right in because I wanna pick your brain a little bit. Overall, how did you feel about seeing Charlotte back?
Oh, I can't put it into words. I didn't stay because I knew I'd be overwhelmed. You know what I mean? I always am when I see her. 13 months being away, it just wasn't the same for me. I kind of lived vicariously with the wrestling business through her or you guys, and the people that are talking on them have no clue. And they're just name dropping to get attention and really don't have the what I would call the wisdom to even be talking, educate, to be are educated enough to have an opinion. That makes sense.
Yes.
But anyway, everything's great. Seeing her. I mean, Kurt Angle put it best yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. She's one of the top three wrestlers, period, in the world, male or female. I don't know if you saw where Kurt said that, but and coming from Kurt Angle, who Bubba, you guys know Tommy, maybe one of the greatest athletes I've ever met in my life. I mean, I know he played other sports in high school and that, but Kurt can do things that nobody can ever do, and so careful. You never know. I mean, deceptively strong, pick you up. I mean, it just doesn't. It's just a special kind of cat, like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a great athlete. Period.
And I think it's that great athlete that separates Charlotte
Yeah.
from all of the other women. And we were
Yes.
having this discussion the other day about the great athlete. Other than Bianca, I don't know if there is an athlete on the women's in the women's division in the WWE that can match Charlotte because Bianca
No.
is a superior athlete also.
Yeah. D1 at Tennessee, and I always when I see Bianca, I always go, "How's the best? How's the second best athlete in the women's division?" No, she's a great gal too, boy. Um, but athletically, I mean, Ashley could have gone. We had this discussion. She could have gone to college and played basketball, volleyball, track and field. She won the city diving championship with 1 week of practice when the diver got hurt and the diver on the Providence High School team got hurt. So, but that's all. A lot of that's all related to her gymnastic background.
There seems to be a lot of greatness hate when it comes to Charlotte. Like
Oh
that.
my God, please. It's everywhere. I told her, you're just, they're all, you're not going to have a friend left because she just keeps getting better. She's
Yeah.
never, ever just satisfied with her performance. She'll pick it apart. And I'll tell you what else she's got. She really has her feet on the ground now when it comes to knowing her character and going out there. And when she starts talking, man, you listen. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's so natural. I know that they write some stuff for her and she writes some stuff when they get together, but she is so confident. Sometimes it takes a while to get that, but I mean, she just rolls now. And she just looks the part. Oh my God.
That confidence you saw Monday night when, and I watched it and I talked about it. We see her in the ring for 3 minutes. During commercial break, they're just cheering for her, and I'm saying to myself, okay, WWE's patterning her as a baby face. She
Yeah.
starts to cut the promo, and half the people are booing, half the cheering, and then she reset back and
Yeah.
then leaned into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that is a confident human being.
Yeah. Yeah. She can change it up. She can go whatever they want to get. Whatever they want, she can give it to them.
Hey, that comes with confidence, and that
Yeah.
comes with
It
taking
takes
everything.
it takes a while to get that too. I
Yes,
mean,
100%.
yeah, but she's got it now. I mean, she's so she just oozes of confidence. So I don't see the nervous pacing back and forth. She knows she's got it. She can sit there and think about it. You know what I mean? And I never even ask her anymore. She just goes out there and knocks it, and it's going to continue to get better.
Can I ask you, when did that happen for you?
Oh God, not till probably a couple of years after the airplane crash when I knew I had it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of like when I won the title the first time. I thought I was ready to win the title. No, not a chance. I mean, I found out real fast that I wasn't wrestling Wahoo McDaniels and Paul Jones and Johnny Valentine and guys like that every night. And so, I clearly admit I wasn't ready. I totally failed. I didn't draw shit. I didn't have it. But when I got it back the second time, I was entrenched and ready to go. Trying to learn how to do an hour every night with a guy that's never done an hour is a learning process for both people. I had done a lot of hours, but they'd been with Terry Funk and Jack Briscoe and Wahoo and people Harley Race. I mean, guys like that don't grow on trees.
Nate,
Yep.
I'd like to get back to Charlotte for just 1 second. When it comes to schedule and the technology that we have on at our hands, when you were working 330, nights per year, you didn't have the luxury of watching your match back, and you also didn't have the, if you had, I'm going to say a bad performance. I've never seen you have a bad performance, but if you had an off night, you couldn't harp on that night. You had to let it go and get back in the ring the next day and get right back on track. When it comes to
Oh no, wait. I had to get to a bar, then get a workout, then
I
get back.
left that out because I know you would throw it back in.
Let's get our priorities straight here.
This is true. When it comes to Charlotte, with technology that it is today and with the schedule where she can watch all of her stuff and has, do you think Charlotte is too hard on herself and her performance?
I think she was, but I think she's loosened up a little bit.
But she can get better. If she wants to get in better shape, she can do it. If she wants to eat better, she can do it.
Yeah.
If she wants to train better, she can do it. How does she get better in the ring when there's nobody better than her for her to work with?
She just looks at the other people and figures out stuff that she can do that they can't do. I mean, I literally I believe that. I don't know that for a fact, but she's always thinking of something different to do, where people will say I was a routine worker, and that probably is true, but when you're doing the same damn hour every night, man, it's hard to what more things can you do? You know what I mean? And she all her matches are different. I mean, look at her matches with Sasha, look at her match with Rhea. I mean, my God, that match they had 2 years ago was unbelievable. And I still say it should have made up at WrestleMania. If you look back on it now, the Bloodline got the political push, but they had a match that was unbelievable.
Think of Bird and Magic. They
Yeah.
always wanted to face each other. I love where they're going, where she even said she endorsed Julia with a word, "You
Yeah.
intrigue me."
Yeah.
And we'll see what she says. Like, but when you are the best, you want to work with
I'll
the
bet
best.
she wrote that too.
Oh, really? That's cool. But I mean, it
All
works.
those skits with the airplane and all that stuff, that was all her dialogue. The one where she's running and training and putting her knee brace on. I'm sure you guys saw them. That's all her. She thought of all that, and she'd just been waiting, chomping at the bit to get back. And now that she is back, she's not taking a day off. Does that make sense?
Sure.
She's working even harder.
And that's kind of where my question stems from when I ask you about, is Charlotte too hard on herself? Because at the end of the video, the vignette where she's training and running with the knee braces on, the last thing we hear her say is, "Ashley, get out of your fucking head."
Yes.
And I love that because that
Yeah.
almost showed me the next evolution of her
Yeah.
character. Like for the longest time, I might have been my own worst enemy, but for the first time, I realized what my weakness is, and I'm never going to allow that to affect me again.
You know, with Charlotte back, it kind of makes me miss Sasha Banks because Charlotte and Sasha had such chemistry together and
Steamboat
had,
and Flair.
yeah, I mean that's the ultimate compliment. And I know, Mercedes is doing her own thing in AEW, but there was nothing better than those clashes that those two had.
Yeah. I call Sasha Steam every time I see her. I say, Steamboat, how you doing? Because she just absolutely, those two had chemistry that very few people ever have.
Obviously, Sasha is making a lot of money. She seems very happy, lots of positives. But do you think the WWE is a better fit for her?
Well, right now I do, yeah, because he doesn't have that many good opponents over there. Does that make sense?
Sure.
I mean, everybody's good. To be in the business, you've got to be good. But to be great is a whole different, that's a whole, that encompasses a whole different word. Great and good. You know what I mean? And I truly believe she'll end up over there. They've apparently they've cut out house shows, right? Am I saying that right? With
Yeah, I don't
WWE,
think
For a little bit, yes.
yeah.
they've cut back a lot, and I think that sometimes the workload, because your Ashley would call me and say, Dad, I'm on last night in the house show in 30 minutes. And I thought, God, it sounds like me talking. You know what I mean? When you don't, when you can go 10, she wants to go 30, right? And so I can remember her saying, what are you doing at the house show? Let's get the hell out of here. You just want to you get to the point where you want to give the people every dime's worth that they paid. And if they're enjoying it, it's hard to put an end to it.
I'm currently on a deep dive of NWA morphing into WCW. You're in the you're in studio. I never realized how much. I always knew you were a sports person, but how much you mixed current events
Yeah.
into your promos. I'm currently watching, and you're talking about the Final Four. Then
Yeah.
you were in, I believe you said Daytona, and you went to Penrod's, and then you morphed it into your own Nature Boy Ric Flair promo. But
Yeah.
with all of that, like, I was like, God, you were so brilliant because nobody else was doing stuff like that. And then putting your own spin on it. Like, did that just come to you
I,
in car rides or just
I
you
was
being you?
I was living that life. If
Well,
I
I
said
know.
if I said it, unfortunately, I was doing it. Yeah, I got it a lot, but it's like when you come into TV, we'd be in Buckhead all night long, literally. Come back to the hotel 5 o'clock, take a shower, and go to TV, and still wound up, 5, 6 cups of coffee. You're ready to go, and then, as you know, back then, half the time we drove down to Columbus
Right.
after TV in the morning at Turner to Columbus to do another TV, and then go to a house show.
Or go to the
So
Omni.
yeah, the Omni or Charlotte or Greensboro. When we got the jet, it could be anywhere.
When it comes to the WWE right now, with Triple H in charge of creative, one thing I love about Triple H is how much he loves the history of this business, how much he loves the NWA, so which makes me happy.
He's doing a hell of a job, and he's really good at managing the personalities. Vince was such a hands-on on it. I mean, he had, as you guys know, he had to see every vignette. He had to see every pre-tape, and you would just stand there and wait for Vince to walk around. I think Hunter is much better at delegating authority because trying to do too much is just overwhelming. You've got enough to deal with the top 10 guys all trying to figure out how they can get someone else's spot, right? And He seems to be doing very well with that. I've never heard one. I've been around it a couple times now, and I haven't heard one negative thing. I think everybody just is feeling really positive about him.
Nate, you talked about what backstage is like, what the company's like when Vince was there, when Triple H is there. I know how I feel when I walk around backstage these days, but how do you feel? It feels like such a lighter mood. It feels
Yeah.
like people are not walking on eggshells, or there's not this
Yeah.
black cloud of fear hovering over the
Yeah.
entire company.
Yeah. Well, I really noticed that I was only there for about 3 hours, but everybody just seemed to be, well, once again, they're just so damn polite. And I mean, I'm all about that, respectful, and hell, I'll be 76 and I'm still getting, sir, sir. I mean, um, that in itself is very rewarding. But yeah, I think they're running as smooth as I've ever seen it run. But I also see that, it's good that Hunter positions himself with people that he's comfortable with. Like Regal's there now, Road Dogg is back. I mean, these are all guys that he knows if he asks them to do something, there won't be an argument. In other words, they're not going to make him debate why he's making that decision. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that they're just setting records in attendance, and they just keep rolling.
Jey Uso has the opportunity to main event WrestleMania. Who would you want to see him face? And the same with Charlotte.
I'd love to see the the third round with Rhea, but I think eventually Ash will wrestle Bianca, I mean, I think they've worked once, like in a house show or something, but those two together, boy, if they had time to lay it out and gave them 30 minutes, I can only imagine what they could do athletically. But I'm excited for whatever. I mean, there's so many matches left for her to have and so many opportunities. And God, I have to tell you, how exciting was that stuff with Uso and John Cena?
Great, great
So
storytelling.
I said to myself, if they do take this with John, and this is a selfish comment, they'll be talking about me more on TV than everybody else like, going into Mania, right? And when John hit the floor, I went, damn, because it would have really led to a lot of speculation as whether John would break the record.
As a fan, I don't want Cena breaking the record. I don't want 17 for Cena. But, John has been very outspoken. He wants that 17th championship. So, I mean, it sounds like you want that to be the story because, yeah, everybody's going to be talking about the Nature Boy Ric Flair because it's your record he would break.
To me, I'd like it to be one of three people: Randy, Charlotte, or John.
Okay, which one?
Oh, my first pick would be Charlotte.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we don't want John winning this.
I can tell you, I have so much time for John Cena. He truly is one of the really great people in our business, and polite and nice. And I mean, at least to me, and if I'd have to be missing something to say that he's not special. To me, John is very special.
Go to RicFlairShop.com. T-shirts, hoodies. Right now, if you sign up at RicFlairShop.com, you get 15% off your first order. So go to RicFlairShop.com. And I always say to everybody, you want to get a gift from me? Go to RicFlairShop.com.
Hold on, I got to ask Rick one last question. Rick, I had Undertaker on my nighttime show, Busted Open After Dark, this past Tuesday, and he was talking about your WrestleMania match and how he wanted to work with you at WrestleMania. What are your memories of that match? How did you feel going into that match? How did you feel about the match when it was all over?
I was in shock when he picked me. Hunter walked out to me and said, "Guess what?" I said, "What?" He said, "Taker wants to work with you at WrestleMania." And immediately I went, "Oh God," I fell into that. Oh Jesus, I can't do that. I'm not, that's back when I was recovering from my WCW psychosis.
So you weren't feeling good about yourself going into the match, right?
Well, I was in good shape and all that, but just, it's the Undertaker. It's Toronto. It's sold out. It's The Rock and Hulk, and yeah, I mean, I never we ended up having a hell of a match. He threw me in the first time. I missed the flip, and he backed me up and he said, "Hey, let's see if you can get over the rope this time, kid." He threw me in again. Once he gave me the boot in the face, I got the color. I felt great. And when Arn gave him the spine buster, they thought we had him.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
I mean,
Live.
they blew the roof off when Arn hit him with a spine buster. So that was a great honor, great privilege. I think the world of that guy, man. He's one of the best guys too. He's one of the really genuine, genuine great people, and one of the greatest big men of all time. My God, the stuff he used to do. I think he just got his knees replaced or something like that, or something, a hip. I mean, he put his body through a lot, but boy, what a tremendous. They don't make him like that. They don't make him like Mark anymore.
All right, Ric Flair, the greatest of all time. Man, thank you so much for the time.
Thanks,
We
guys.
truly appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.